to this week's episode of Gear Up. Here's what's in store for you today. The highest scoring bowl game in history took place, but the Heisman winner wasn't the star of the show. It's the last week of the NFL regular season, and I'll tell you what each team needs to make the playoffs. Mike speaks out about Rex Ryan's big mouth, and I give you my top 5 moments of 2011. I'm Michael Peters, and you're watching Gear Up. First, some NBA news. The NBA season started on Christmas Day after a lockout that seemed like it would never end, with the Knicks beating the Celtics and showing they are going to be much better than they were the past few years, the Heat getting revenge on the Mavericks in Dallas, the Bulls defeating the Lakers by 1 point, Kevin Durant and the Thunder beating Dwight Howard and the Magic, and the Clippers, with new point guard Chris Paul, crushing the Warriors. Now, exactly a week into the season, there are some surprises in the standings. To start off, we have 3 undefeated teams, the Heat at 4-0, the Thunder at 5-0, and the Blazers at 3-0. There are also 2 teams with no wins, Minnesota and Washington, both 0-3. The real shockers are the 1-3 records of the defending champion Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. They both started off 0-3 but won their last game. In the Atlantic Division, the Knicks and 76ers are tied for first, same for the Bulls and the Pacers in the Central. In the Southeast, Miami is on top, shocker, and likewise for Oklahoma City in the Northwest. The Lakers are only 3-2 but lead the Pacific Division, and the Spurs lead the Southwest. So far this year, LeBron James leads in points per game with Blake Griffin in second, Kevin Durant in third, Kevin Love in fourth, and Kobe Bryant in fifth. Kyle Lowry leads in assists with Chris Paul in second, Derrick Rose in third, Rajon Rondo in fourth, and Jose Calderon in fifth. Now some NCAA football bowls. If I read the scores of all the bowl games played so far, you would fall asleep, so I'll read the important ones, in my opinion. 12th ranked Baylor defeated Washington 67-56, making it the highest scoring regulation bowl game in history. However, Heisman winner Robert Griffin III didn't have his best game of the season and accounted for 1 rushing and 1 passing touchdown, while Terrence Ganaway ran for 5 touchdowns. Rutgers defeated Iowa State 27-13 in the New Era Pinstripe Bowl held at Yankee Stadium. After the game ended, Coach Greg Schiano made a shout-out to Eric LeGrand on the microphone, saying that the win was for him. LeGrand is in a wheelchair more than a year after being paralyzed by making a tackle during a game. 14th ranked Oklahoma defeated Iowa 31-14 in the Insight Bowl on Friday. 25th ranked and defending national champion Auburn beat Virginia 43-24 in the Chick-fil-A Bowl yesterday. Auburn coach Gene Chizik is undefeated in the bowl games as a coach at 9-0. There were some great bowl games in the past few weeks, but the biggest ones are still to come. Tomorrow, 10 of the top 25 teams are playing in bowls, including the Rose Bowl, Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, and Outback Bowl. On Tuesday, Michigan faces Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl, West Virginia faces Clemson on Wednesday in the Orange Bowl, and Kansas State takes on Arkansas in the Cotton Bowl on Friday, leading up to Monday's Alabama and LSU rematch in the national title game. Now some NFL news. In the final week of the NFL season, many teams control their own fate for playoff berths and seeding, but some need a lot of help from some other teams. Here are the playoff scenarios. In the AFC, the Patriots have clinched the East and a first-round bye. They can clinch home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs with a win, tie, or the Ravens and Steelers losing or tying. The Houston Texans have clinched the South Division. The Ravens and Steelers have both clinched a spot in the playoffs, but the Ravens would win the division and get a first-round bye if they win, tie, and the Steelers lose or tie, or the Steelers lose. The Ravens would get home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs with a win and a Patriots loss. The Steelers would win the North and a first-round bye if they win and the Ravens lose or tie, or they tie and the Ravens lose. The Steelers would clinch home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs if they win, the Ravens lose or tie, and the Patriots lose. The Broncos clinch the West with a win, a tie, and a Raiders loss or tie, or a Raiders loss. The Raiders clinch the West with a win and a Broncos loss or tie, or a tie and a Broncos loss. The Raiders clinch a wild card spot with a win, a Bengals loss, and either a Titans loss or tie, or a Jets win. The Bengals clinch a wild card spot with a win or tie, or a Jets loss, and either a Broncos or Raiders loss. The Jets clinch a wild card spot with a win, a Bengals loss, a Titans loss or tie, and either a Raiders or Broncos loss or tie. And the Titans clinch a wild card spot with a win, Bengals loss, Jets win, and either a Broncos or Raiders loss or tie, or a win, Bengals loss, Jets loss or tie, Broncos win, and Raiders win. Now the NFC scenarios. The Packers clinched the number 1 seed in the NFC. The 49ers clinch the West and clinch a first-round bye with a win, a tie, and a Saints loss, or a Saints loss. The Saints have clinched the South and clinch a first-round bye with a win and 49ers loss, or a tie and a 49ers loss. The Detroit Lions and Atlanta Falcons have both clinched wildcard spots. The Giants clinched the East Division and the 4 seed with a win or tie, and the Cowboys clinched the East and the 4 seed with a win. Now, an award you don't want to receive unless you get the number 1 pick in the upcoming draft. The worst record in the league. The Colts would get the first pick of the draft if they lose against the Jaguars today, and the Rams would get the pick if the Colts win and they lose to the 49ers. If they both win, the Colts get the pick. Andrew Luck is up for grabs, but would the Colts, with Peyton Manning, draft him? Would the Rams with Sam Bradford? Now my game of the week this week. My game of the week is San Francisco against the Rams. San Francisco is giving 10, but I think they will win by much more than this. First of all, the Rams have nothing to play for. They might even want to lose to give them the possibility of the number 1 draft pick. However, the 49ers would clinch a first-round bye and the number 2 seed in the NFC with a win, so you know they'll be giving it their all. Even if this game was just another regular season game with no weight on draft picks or playoff seeding, the 49ers would still cover because the Rams are 2-13 and the 49ers are 12-3. For these reasons, the 49ers will cover today. Now for this week's edition of Mike Speaks Out. The topic for this week is, should Rex Ryan keep talking or shut up? We all know Rex Ryan likes to open his mouth, whether it's talking about how good the Jets are or shoving food down it. But when does the talking become too much? It's alright for a coach to talk highly of your team to give them a boost of confidence, but when you can't back it up, you just look like a fool, especially when you talk about your team like they're better than the Niners. Before the Giants and Jets game on Christmas Eve, Rex Ryan said that the Jets were the better team in New York. However, the Giants won the game 29-14. You would think Rex Ryan would be a little less confident about his team and wouldn't want to cause any further embarrassment than the loss. But after the game ended, he came up to Brandon Jacobs, used an expletive, and said, "Wait till we win the Super Bowl." Jacobs told him that he would punch him in the face, which I think it would be funny for everyone besides Jet fans to see. Ryan is saying that the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl, while the shots at making the playoffs are very slim. They need to beat the Dolphins, have the Bengals lose to the Ravens, have the Titans lose to the Texans, and need the Raiders to lose to the Chargers or the Broncos to lose to the Chiefs just to make the playoffs. Then they need to win 4 games in a row to win the Super Bowl. There's a chance, but not a very good one. Rex Ryan opens his mouth to talk almost as much as he does to eat. Now for this day in history. In 1935, the first Sugar Bowl and the first Orange Bowl take place. And in 1969, Jack Kent Cooke, owner of NHL's LA Kings, fines each player $100 for not arguing with the referee. Now for my top 5. Top 5 this week is the top 5 sports moments of 2011. At 5, we have Tebow Mania. The fans of Denver practically forced Broncos coach John Fox to start previous third-string quarterback Tim Tebow by chanting his name and even putting up billboard ads. Tebow doesn't disappoint the fans in Denver, going 7-3 as a starter after a 1-4 start by the Broncos, putting them in the spot where a win today would make them division champions. At 4, we have Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks defeat the favorite Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. I can't help rooting for the underdog, even in this big of a game. This was the Mavericks' first NBA title in franchise history. At 3, we have USA Women's Soccer beats powerhouse Brazil during the World Cup in penalty kicks, another upset that made the list. At 2, we have Derek Jeter gets his 3,000th hit on a home run while going 5 for 5 and falling a triple short of the cycle. This couldn't have been done in a better way. Well, maybe if you went 6 for 6 and got a triple. And at 1, we have the UConn Huskies men's basketball team wins 11 straight games to win the Big East tournament, in which the Huskies won 5 games in 5 days behind leader Kemba Walker, and the NCAA tournament. The Huskies finished the regular season with a 9-9 Big East record, which made this turnaround even more unbelievable. Last night on Red Bull, New Year No Limits, motocross rider Robbie Madison and snowmobiler Levi LaValle jumped over 300 feet of water simultaneously at the Embarcadero Marina Park in San Diego. Not only did they jump to 300 feet over water, but Levi LaValle jumped a total of 412 feet, and Robbie Madison jumped a total of 378 feet. Thank you for watching today's show. Have a good day and a Happy New Year, and I'll see you on the next show.